So I'm glad to be here on stage with my colleagues to take a moment to have a quick look back at our conference day and just to have some concluding remarks and take the major key points away to remember for us in the next few days. So we have on stage the heads of our Advantage Austria offices here in China. We have Birgit Moore, who came all the way from Guangzhou. She's in charge for the Guangzhou and the Chengdu office. Christina is connected again online. And we have our host for this year, Michael, who is the head of our office here in Beijing. And for those of you who haven't met me yet, I'm Manuela Sandler. I'm his deputy here in Beijing. Very happy to be here on stage with all of you. Christina, I would have loved to finally meet you personally, but unfortunately, we all know these COVID times, they taught us one thing, and it is to be flexible. And so digitalization helped us out today to actually conduct this event and to have you connected now today. And Michael, also in your panel, digitalization played a key role when you were talking about the digital RMB. So maybe please could you quickly sum up the main key points we should take away?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank all participants for their presence, and I would like to thank all speakers, of course, who participated, either personally here and also by distance video connection. And of course, again, I would also like to thank all the sponsors who made this event possible. Yeah, you might remember we had the finance panel. I thought it was quite interesting to talk to these experts. The introduction was about the recent reform since 2017 of the financial markets and to what extent it would provide better access of foreign and in particular European financial institutions to the Chinese market. And there was agreement that you have to distinguish between the legal possibilities and the actual market situation and market access. And they say that the financial business is largely in the hand of a few very big banks, which is also, of course, important for the digital yuan, because the digital yuan, which has already been tested in several Chinese cities, will also be developed and will be handled by a few number of very big banks. What we discovered in this discussion was that I think not many people know that when you pay with Alipay or WeChat Pay, to an economic entity, to a company, they take 0.6% of your turnover. I mean, you as a payer, you wouldn't realize it. It's for you, it's free. But the company which receives your payment is 0.6%. It's like it's even more than the credit cards in Europe charge, the MasterCard, Visa, and so on. And the digital yuan would stop that. The digital yuan would be free, and it would be not everybody would have an account with the People's Bank of China. That would be not feasible. But everybody will keep his normal bank account, and if you're in a smaller bank, it will go through one of the big operators. Another question we were looking at was the CIPS. You might remember this is the Chinese payments and clearing system, and we were wondering whether this will be in a near future some competitive organization for the SWIFT payment system, and of course we found out that it wouldn't be the case, and it would also be difficult for Russian companies and banks to use it for circumventing the sanctions. CIPS is of quite limited importance, and therefore it doesn't look like it would really grow very fast in the near future. Another question was whether the RMB will become an international currency, and the conclusion was that as long as the foreign exchange controls are in place, it would be very difficult that the RMB really will become an international currency or reserve currency like the euro or the dollar. And it was said also that the euro has been quite successful over the recent years in becoming an alternative to the dollar. But of course, there is no ambition in the euro to replace the dollar. And it's not tomorrow that the RMB will be used internationally in transactions. But because it doesn't look like if the central bank and the government would abolish the foreign exchange control and limits. So that was the major wrap-up of our panel. And I hope we were able to contribute some new information to our participants. And with that, I would like to hand over to you, Christina, in Shanghai, about your panel on IT.
Hello, once again from Shanghai. So I don't see the entire screen, so I hope you see and hear me. My internet connection is okay? Yes, could I just
hear you well, and we see you very clearly. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Yes, from the program, our panel was called Technology and Data Regulation, but in the preparation, we decided we focus on data regulation. We had Thomas Chang from Data and Jira who gave us an overview because we tried to put the topic within the framework of the current 14th five-year plan. And I think it's quite obvious if you look at the five-year plan, it should be an initiative to build a digital China. And I would think everything that started already before the current five-year plan, all the different laws, might it be the cybersecurity law, the personal information protection law, you name it, it goes all into one direction. China is on the way to become a hugely digital economy, and the entire five-year plan is as well under the guidance that the further economic development of China is only possible through technological advancements. So we see that data is everywhere. Data is, I guess, one of the new, if not the new Chinese economic power force. China collects a lot of data, so obviously they consider protecting them. I think there are different ways. One is about who has access to the data, because if you fulfill all the requirements, foreign companies obviously are a bit worried. How much data do I have to share with whom? With Chinese regulators. We touched upon the topic that probably one day there might be the need for every company located in China to host all their data, even internal company profiles, IT in a Chinese cloud, maybe a Chinese state-owned cloud. How will the impact be on businesses? Might they leave? I think we followed up to what Jörg Wuttke said in his opening remarks, where he mentioned, he asked international companies, how much R&D are you still willing to do in China? So, and what was it? Some took the R out of the R&D and only do the D here for the localizing of production and products. So we heard from one Austrian company how they are prepared. They have been preparing for a long time. And in the end, when you look for one word, how to boil down all the latest legal developments which have to do with data protection, data transfer, it's compliance. Companies have to be compliant. We know that was always everywhere a case, but as there are so many new stringent laws and they start to be enforced lately. And we learned as well that even this topic follows a very typical Chinese approach of executing it. It's different in different locations. The high-tech cities like Shenzhen, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and as well Beijing, there the laws are enforced a lot stricter than in other places. But China has the goal to be a digital economy. They even give a KPI how much their digital economy shall contribute to GDP. And this is only possible with further research, development, and homegrown innovation, where there still be foreign companies needed for the time being. But those companies who stay here, they have to really reconsider their China business model. How much will they transfer information One way might be, like it was mentioned by one of our experts, to completely separate the IT infrastructure, know-how, IP from Austria in that case, or any other country where your headquarters is based, and China. And another thing which we learned, a lot of those rules are following another Chinese tradition, outsourcing compliance, outsourcing how to come up with new regulations. When it comes about network security, companies are kind of obliged to come up with ideas, solutions for network security. So obviously, the Chinese government will learn from it and will take up as well the best practices. So point is, if there are two words you want to take from our panel, one is compliance, and the second is you need to get the idea of this very strict data rules and regulations into the heads of management, because they probably have to change their approach to the China business, to business in general, and it will cost money because you have to be compliant, and there you need experts to advise you. And this is an ongoing topic. It will become stricter, but we've heard as well that companies can comply with it, and they're doing it. But it should be on every CEO's agenda to look into all the data protection and data regulation laws. Might it be the CEO here in China on the ground, but as well communicated to your head office that if measures have not yet been taken, it's really time to do that now. I think that would be the summary from our panel.
Perfect. Thank you very much for Christina for bringing it on the point and for summing it up. Birgit, your panel has been the most recent one, but could you please draw some conclusions for us as well?
Yeah, well, our panel was on green tech, and I think the most important result we had is China's plans on getting green, decarbonization. Green industries have to be taken seriously. Those goals are very substantive, and there will be only a flat increase of emissions in the next years. So to reach this goal, there need to be alternative energies, there need to be renewable energies getting stronger. And there's some kind of point of no return in 2030. It goes either up or it goes down. And I mean, of course, there's a lot of impact on political side and so on, but we have to take it seriously. So what does this mean for our companies? There's a lot of industries who have to get more energy efficient, who have to get more environmentally friendly. That means there are chances and there are risks. I mean, from the Chinese companies' point of view, definitely they have to invest money. And there are so far no incentives yet, but the incentive might be a negative incentive, because if you don't fulfill the goals, you might risk to lose your business license. And for our companies, this is quite a chance to sell their advanced technologies. On the other hand, Chinese competitors also become stronger. They become more efficient. But one of our panelists mentioned that this is also quite a good situation for us, because we are challenged. We need to improve all the time. We need to become stronger as well. If they become stronger, if we want to be ahead, so we have to further develop. The second aspect mentioned was also the scale-up situation of the Chinese market. There's no market in the world where you can scale up as fast and as efficiently like in China. So this is also a good chance for our companies to learn and to further export their technologies worldwide somehow. Obviously, politics has given the framework, and now they need to fill this framework with more directives, but this is to be expected to happen very soon. I mean, the current 5-year plan was set up in a time before these new decarbonization goals were out. But now all local levels and, of course, all the bureaucratic levels have to prepare to fulfill the commitments and give some directives and goals. as there were some industries mentioned, like steel industry, cement industry, glass industry, copper industry, aluminium industry, I would like to also refer to our business trips. We are in charge of 9 provinces in South and Southwest China, which is Sichuan, Chongqing, Yunnan, Guizhou, Guangdong, Guangxi, Hainan, Hunan, and Fujian. And a lot of those industries are located there. And they all need to improve their production ways to fulfill the goals. So we are trying, or we are organizing regular trips. We don't care about the pandemic, but we are now experts in how to get which local codes and how many tests. So last time we had a Yunnan trip, and I did altogether 5 tests. But I mean, we can really get the appointments, and I mean, it's taking more preparation work, but we really had very good appointments, and I would like to invite all of you to actively join our trips. I'm still planning this year Fujian. I'm planning to go to Panzhihua, maybe also Guangxi and Hunan, and I see a lot of potential there. So we will invite you as guests of the Austria Connect, and please join us, and also please let us know if there's some certain industries you would like to have in our focus. We also very flexible on adapting our trips on industries our clients wish to see. Usually we're covering several industries. So this was a little bit of public relation and advertisement, but I have a last advertisement, which is a little bit further in the future. There will be an Austria Connect in 2023, so take some time, but it will be hosted in Chengdu, the Panda City. So please be prepared to come. It's the 19th to 21st of October 2023 in Chengdu.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Birgit. And already announcing some other events, I just add one more. Talking about green tech, the Advantage Austria head office in Vienna is organizing the Green Tech Days in Vienna on the 10th and 11th of May. This is a hybrid event as well with panels, which can be followed online, and also some B2B networking. If you're interested to join, just let us know. We're happy to sign you up.
I think you should mention next week.
Yeah, of course, this will come next too. If you're ready with the events, as you can see, we have cameras installed all over the room. As you know, a lot of people could not join today because of the pandemic restrictions. So we recorded all the sessions, and we will have an online event coming up next week, Wednesday, with participants from Austria, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and other areas in China, where we'll have a short recap of today's conference, but there will also be the possibility for virtual networking, where we'll meet and mingle in a virtual conference room. It's next week, Wednesday, from 3 until 6 p.m. And if you haven't signed up yet and you would be interested, please just let us know. We'll be happy to have you there too. I guess that's it from...
Yeah, I just want to say, Birgit, she made some PR for her events. Her very presence proves that if you travel with her, you're not going to be held up.
Yeah, most probably I'm too much Mafan to the Chinese side, so they say, let her go. Thank you very much. And I mean, I just wanted to add to the event next week. I mean, there's some tool used, it's called Remo.
Yes, if you join from China, VPN is needed. But I think we're all experts on that already.
But anyway, it will be a chance to do some virtual networking, and it also should be fun.
It should be fun. There are like virtual tables where you can hop around and just talk to people that are on the same table and just exchange perspectives, ideas, how they are doing, how they are handling the whole situation at the moment.
Okay. Well then, thank you very much for your participation. I'm looking forward to see you at 6 o'clock at the Chow Hotel. There will be, in case you don't know, there will be a little group leaving at 5:45 here from the entry hall and walk over to the Chow Hotel. It's maybe 10 minutes walk. Yeah? And tomorrow morning, the meeting point is
It's also in the hotel.
It's also in the hotel. Maybe you repeat the time. It's the
That's a good question. Is it 9:45? Ingo, please confirm. 9:45. So
9:45.
yeah, I recall correctly. We will meet again in the hotel. The buses will be waiting.
okay. Well, then thank you very much. See you later at the gala dinner. Thank you.
Thank you.